Hi, Chris, and welcome to the Swell podcast. We're happy to have you on.
Yeah, hey Maya, thank you for having me. Definitely happy to be here. I've seen some pretty cool videos so far.
Yeah, nice. And so you work remotely for us, right? You're in Colorado?
Yep, I am smack dab downtown Denver.
Okay, awesome. And so I know that you're fairly new to McGraw, so could you just kind of introduce yourself and maybe tell us a little bit about your role here?
Yeah, so I came on board as an account executive. So really what that looks like is I'm working with, our marketing team and HubSpot. We actually, with our partnership with HubSpot, so I'm working with companies to just help them implement new strategies using the HubSpot platform. Just to be more efficient and get more inbound leads coming through, alter marketing strategies and really help them achieve their overall goals, which I'm sure we'll get into. There's a lot more to that, but yeah, essentially account executive over here at McGraw.
Nice. And I know that you worked with a lot of software and tech companies before, so that really kind of fits in to today's episode, which is about HubSpot for SaaS companies. And so could you just kind of give us an overview of what a SaaS company is and maybe what makes it a little different from other businesses?
Yeah, so SaaS companies, it stands for software as a service. So essentially they are software companies that find problems that businesses face, or come up with ideas that would help businesses just operate better, or society, or whatever the area is, and then they sell that software to other companies to, whether it's solving a pain point or achieving specific goals or having a tool for something specific. But yeah, it's all software based. So the difference with that is we're not selling a tangible item. So it's not like, oh yeah, you're purchasing this, so we're gonna go ahead and ship that to you. Software companies work closely with businesses on their internal processes and existing softwares and integrations and all of that, and ideally strategically implement that platform into your existing business models.
And so obviously here at McGraw we use HubSpot, and HubSpot kind of lives and breathes that inbound marketing methodology, And so how can SaaS companies use HubSpot for their inbound marketing efforts, which inbound marketing is attracting customers to, create valuable personalized content. So what do you think about that?
SaaS companies have a lot of benefits. So it's software as a service. So essentially they design their own software, their own solution to a business problem. But being software, they have access to a global market instantly. So using the inbound methodology, there's several options when it comes to sales strategy and what works best, and everyone's always coming up with something and arguing. But I think the inbound methodology simplifies a lot of the areas that have just became too redundant and complex and overall confusing, not only for the sales reps, but also for the prospects that they're working with. So HubSpot really, inbound marketing methodology really simplifies that. And then, utilizing some of the tools and SaaS platforms out there, including HubSpot, which, we're partnered with, allows that all to be simplified and aligned. So customers have the best experience, and the sales reps have everything they need to be efficient and get in touch with the right people.
Yeah, and obviously HubSpot has the marketing hub, so there's a lot of tools within that SaaS companies can utilize for their inbound marketing strategies. I use the social media tab to schedule out all my posts, and I can post on any different platform from any different account that I've linked to HubSpot, which I think is, a really good way to just kind of streamline everything. Like you said, it kind of gives you an overview of your the campaigns you're running and things like that. Obviously, HubSpot isn't just for marketing. There's the other hubs like the sales and the service hub. So how can HubSpot help SaaS companies in other ways besides their marketing? What are some maybe tools within HubSpot? I know there's the sales pipeline that's probably really beneficial.
Yeah, so I think it's the overall conglomerate of what they have developed, because everything is developed in-house, and it's not, although they do allow for 1,000+ integrations, they really have everything you need at the core. So I've used several other CRMs, and not gonna lie, I have had my own Excel spreadsheet pipeline the whole time. So this is actually the first time that I haven't had to do that. So deals pipeline is great. The way that they're able to segment out data, so different personas, different industries, and really target things effectively. That is one thing that I love. So I can go through and get a new deal in, and then I can enroll that into a sequence. So instead of having to use some crazy expensive outreach tool, it's all done right there for me in HubSpot. So I can enroll it into a sequence. All of the tasks are going to be created for me when they need to be done. And then also, I've worked in, SMB and enterprise and a lot of different areas in e-commerce. And sometimes it takes a lot of teamwork to get deals done, and that can really fall through the cracks because people get busy. So being able to collaborate directly on HubSpot with the people you need to and have shared notes. There's also a snippet tool that is really cool. There's some phrases that, are very informative and helpful, and going through your notes and having to find it or just retype it out. It's just a lot of the redundant, time-consuming things that you run into as a sales rep are all taken care of for you. So once HubSpot's set up the right way, it's like, oh, okay, this is sweet. All I need to do is sell, and I can do it effectively.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes too, SaaS sales can be tricky because you're selling, a technology or service. So it's uncommon, I feel like, for consumers to, make multiple purchases, of that technology. So I think HubSpot does a good job of really nurturing your customers through the sales process, it sounds like, and personalizing that experience for each individual customer. And obviously it sounds like it saves time too. You can focus on, other aspects of your business. So do you use the sales pipeline quite a bit for what you do, or?
Yeah, I live and breathe out of the sales pipeline. So like I said, no longer using a spreadsheet, but I think one of my favorite things is I remember having, there's some important pieces of information that I would use for my calls. And I remember really trying to get either custom fields or specific information added to the CRM that I was using. And with HubSpot, you can edit all yours and customize your own pipeline the way that you need it to. And it's not going to go mess up the whole system for everybody. So I can change the deal stages. I can automate the deal stages and move things around as I need to. I can invite people to collaborate directly from there. And again, the sequences, really everything that I need is right there on that sales pipeline. I don't have to go searching for info. Really removes so much headache. So yeah, the sales pipeline has been great to work with.
Yeah, it sounds like an all-in-one tool that's really transparent, so other people, that you're working with can, see where each deal is at within the sales process. So it sounds like a pretty good system rather than, an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah, I'd say it's a little bit more effective. I mean, sales can already be stressful and frustrating enough at times. So to at least have your day-to-day working for you instead of against you is a lot more effective than I realized it would be.
Yeah. So you have experience, working for SaaS tech companies. So what do you think are some of the biggest issues that those SaaS companies are facing right now?
Yes. I mean, there's quite a few, and it's always changing. So I've worked for corporate SaaS companies. I've worked for startup SaaS companies and different solutions. And really, I think the overarching problem that I have seen is misalignment between marketing and management and sales. And the left hand never knows what the right hand's doing. And then, all of a sudden quota or attainment or expectations and forecast isn't met. And there's no data to back up why the forecast and the quota is what it is. And then B, there's no answers as to why it's not being met. And I think it all lately is boiling down to marketing. So everyone would point the finger at sales. Now everyone's pointing the finger at marketing. So not having the right leads come in and kind of working off of the old broken model of finding a good lead source and pay per lead and expecting a set conversion out of that lead. There's too many people fighting for that, and companies haven't invested in the inbound methodology that's going to generate that for you, where you're the only one working it and it's specific to you. Like, for instance, with McGraw, I'm working with SaaS companies, and I've got everything between the personas I'm talking with and the different segments of industries, all being routed directly to me. As same with Wade, our ex-lawyer. All of these campaigns, anything related to legal law is going to him. So that's how personalized the approach is. And when there is that misalignment, you're not getting that personalized approach. Your sales reps are not enabled with the tools and information that they need. There's a lot of gatekeeping of information for whatever the reason is. So I think HubSpot really went through and they saw all the major hurdles that companies are facing, and then they have really put a lot of work into cutting out all of this extra extra processes, tools, platforms, initiatives that are really just kind of wasting time at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note too that HubSpot is a SaaS company, so and I do think that they give a really good overview of, the customer journey on HubSpot. And like you said, really aligns your marketing, your sales, and your service. And, it's a really great tool, obviously, so, and there's so many integrations, there's over 1,000 integrations, I think, and that number continues to grow. So how could SaaS companies benefit from HubSpot's wide array of integrations?
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of ways to benefit from it. The biggest way is it's going to be easy. You're not going to be working with a bunch of different development teams, and I'm not a developer. I've worked on a lot of development projects, and I know how confusing and just intricate they can get, and then they fall outside of the scope of work. But I think HubSpot being a SaaS company and also being a CRM that does about everything has used their inbound methodology where they can take the results repeatable and measurable and then develop that into their actual CRM. So the amount of integrations that you're going to need, I think, is going to be a lot smaller. So, I've seen companies with the craziest tech stack that I'm like, I don't understand how anyone is going to use 17 different pieces of software in their day-to-day. So working with a company like McGraw, so, we specialize in a real strategic, data-driven, results-driven style. So I think when you are working with the right companies, you're going to know exactly what you're actually going to use. Once you find what other integrations or what platforms that you are going to be using, that you're not overdoing it or being redundant. So no one company, or no one person at least is going to be an expert in 20 different platforms. So that's where, having HubSpot and having a company like McGraw, where with our resources, we do not have one person that's specialized in 20 different platforms, but we've got far more than 20 that can each specialize in one platform. So you really are going to know what your options are, and you're going to know that you're not putting anything in place that's not going to be beneficial.
Yeah, HubSpot is definitely, kind of a centralized location for everything, especially with all of those integrations too. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about regarding HubSpot and SaaS companies or?
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I'm, running up against and for everyone is no business wants to, or nobody in general wants to change. Change is uncomfortable. It is not fun. It doesn't seem like a good idea for at least most people. But when you take the time to see the results, you can't argue with it. So, kind of through everything that we've covered, these new models that are coming out are really a no-brainer when you look at the results. And using as many CRMs and being in sales as long as I have, I'm behind it 100%. And I really think that the right approach with the right company, with the right tools, is a guarantee for success if everyone shares the same vision and works together as a team and not as an individual. As they say, no man's an island. And, I've seen it firsthand at McGraw actually for years before I started working for them. I've seen the results, and now, being on the team and seeing what they do with companies and how they, don't make anyone fit inside a singular box and really do a tailored approach to their goals. There's really no reason that it wouldn't be successful. So I'm excited for what the future has to come, and I know we're doing some pretty big things. HubSpot is doing some really cool things, and we are prepared for the change of landscape.
Yeah, I think that's all great information, and I've been seeing you getting those HubSpot certifications on LinkedIn, so getting your expertise.
Yeah, I guess that's one other tidbit. HubSpot has a great knowledge base, which, again, another thing that I take advantage of on my HubSpot because there's so much information out there. And I started creating a sales playbook. So as I'm going through, this is the use case or specific, I go to my sales book and pull it up. But yeah, I am excited for what's to come, and I would take advantage of all the resources on the HubSpot trainings that you can, because it tells you what's happening now, not, information from an old sales book from, 2009 that doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, the HubSpot Academy is a great resource and a way for, I think, us at McGraw to just continue learning and stay up to date on the latest, HubSpot features and changes. And they continue to grow and, scale alongside the companies that they support. So, well, thank you so much, Chris, for joining today. I think, HubSpot is definitely a game changer for the SaaS industry. So, and I like too that you brought up how at McGraw, we can help SaaS companies as well. And not everyone fits into, this one box, and, we'll personalize for each company, because not every company is the same. So I think there were some really good points made.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess I have one thing that may kind of just wrap it up is, the companies I've talked to, and I guess for whoever is listening, do you want to continue on the feast and famine, hot and cold months and pay per lead model, or do you want to start, driving traffic, driving inbound leads, and giving your customers legendary experience, which also I forgot to add that in what I've seen. That's really the biggest thing, is all of this focus on everything else, and then the customer is the one that ends up, shorthanded, which is really a huge benefit of the inbound sales methodology. But I don't want to ramble on, but I'm excited about this stuff. There's a lot of cool things happening.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Chris, for joining on another episode of the Swell, and I'm sure we'll have you on another episode soon. So thanks so much. Have a great day. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
If you want to learn more, be sure to download our free marketing plan template for B2B SaaS companies at the link in the description. This ebook is filled with worksheets, resources, tips, and more, focusing on organizing your B2B SaaS marketing strategies for 2023.